2 p.m. Central Time here on Saturday, February 2nd. My name is Elvin, also known as Epoxy, and today I will be doing the shoutcast for Illinois Tech's Division 3 League of Legends team, as they are taking on Stony Brook University from New York, their team name LCS Bound. Both teams are currently doing their pick and draft on the online ban tools due to, I think, because in the JV leagues here for Collegiate Star League, they don't get access to all the champs. So as the teams are going to go, we can take a quick look at what we've got going on for the Scarlet Hawks here for their team roster. So, for the team, we have John Marshall, J Mars 9 playing top lane, Danny Garcia, Officer Suck on jungle, Thomas Van Petten, Disafay in mid, Juan Borjorque, Pirate Windows on the bot lane, followed and last Leo Chan. Pleelades? Sorry about that, Leo, if I don't get your name right. Rounding it up as support, and they're led by one of their coaches, Casey Weisfuss, Stone on Arcade. For John here, he's a third-year computer science student, finished Season 8 in Gold. As their top laner, he has a pretty wide variety of champions that he plays. Looks like he finished up Season 8 with a ton of Victor and Jarvan. But pretty cool to see that he got 3 pentakills in Season 8. That's never easy to get. So we have that. The jungler, Danny Garcia, second year computer science as well, from Chicago, Illinois, finishing Season 8 in Gold. His fun fact is, I am the Lee Sin God. Thomas Van Petten Disafay is a first-year mechanical engineering from Glen Ellen, Illinois, finished Season 8 Gold as well. His fun fact is the Zoe guy, and if we're looking, he's got a 57% win rate on almost more than 200 games on that, so hopefully when Stony Brook's doing their research, if they're going to be letting that slide in the ban phase, they're going to have to be prepared for that Zoe in the mid lane. And then rounding up with our bot lane with Juan, Pirate Windows is a first-year ITM major at Illinois Tech. ITM for us stands for Information Technology Management, finishing Season 8 Gold. Got 1 pentakill in Season 8, all the way from Bogota, Colombia, and his fun fact is the right-click guy. And Season 8, decent amount of games on Vayne, and nice win rate there. I like that 70%. Zaya, Kaisa, Tristana, all valid champs, and Pirate Windows is also the captain, I believe, for the Division 3 team this 2018-2019 academic year. And then last but not least, we've got Leo Chan, Pleelades. I'm going to have to ask him later how to actually say his name. But as the support for IIT, he's a first-year computer science major, finishing Season 8 in Gold as well. All the way from Honolulu, Hawaii, and his fun fact is I'm actually an ADC main. Well, hey, one of the great things about transitioning from ADC to support is that you know how ADC plays, so when your ADC is just doing crazy stuff, you can expect it and play alongside him. So it seems that he's pretty comfortable with the karma when it comes to solo games, but going to see what he pulls out for this game that's not a marksman based. It's going to be exciting. So we are still waiting. It looks like for the champs for both teams to figure out what's going on. So until then, we'll just go on a short break, and then when we come back, get you guys going in the game. Alrighty, so we are starting up the pick ban phase. Looks like Illinois Tech will be playing on the red side for game one here. Uh, and we have the Zoe and Mordekaiser ban coming out from Stony Brook here on the first round, targeting IIT's Disafay and top lane J Mars. IIT going for the Lucian Grag ban. Lucian coming up in the right now in this start of season 9 meta is pretty popular right now. I've been banning it in my ranked games. So last one for IIT coming out will be the Graves ban, likely for the jungle. And Stony Brook's Vayne ban targeted for Pirates. So it seems like New York is taking a more tactical approach in terms of just taking out the preferred comfort picks of IIT. And as we're starting to go select our champs, we've got both the top leaders and junglers for both teams picked out, with Scion and Nocturne coming out for Stony Brook, and Darius Kane. Lissandra for mid for New York, and that's been also fairly popular right now in solo queue. The Swain coming out for Tom for Disafay here. Um, haven't seen too much of it, but it seems like that's going to be one of Disafay's more preferred champs. And checking out his stats, he does play at his third most popular champ with a pretty decent win rate, 63%, and getting 3 triple kills season 8, so that's always good. Second round of bans coming out will be the Lux for New York, likely targeted again at Disafay, but he's already selected his champ. But this could have been
I'm absolutely livid.
a small issue when they were doing the pro draft picks, so I just probably didn't catch on that. Probably my fault there. We've got the Victor as well again, so it looks like they target banned 3 bans there for the mid laner to try to force him into that Swain role. So luckily, hopefully IIT was able to pick that within their first round of selections. But right now, these picks are kind of just all going in LCS order because, again, the online picks and bans had taken place because most of these students here playing for this match don't have all of the champions unlocked. So going online to use tools is a much easier way to make sure that people can selectively pick their champions in different orders. So finishing it up here, we have the bot lane for Stony Brook here with the Jhin and Veigar. Definitely a lot of early game harass. Level 2 Veigar, if he gets his E anywhere, or any kind of like hard CC to keep them in as Nocturne comes, that's going to be pretty nasty for IIT. But IIT going for a more traditional bot lane approach with the Xayah and Thresh. Summoners, top lane Ghost for Darius, that's something, and Ignite for Veigar. So again, they're going to be looking for that early kill. Level 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be taken into the 3-minute delay as we're waiting for the match to come up online. Until then, I guess I can talk a little bit about the Division 3 team. So with IIT here, this team has been playing since the fall of 2018, and this is out of the 3-4 teams that we have here. These guys have been practicing really rigorously during the school year. So here at Illinois Tech Esports, we have a arena on our campus that has a bunch of computer setups that is open to the public during normal business hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. But after 5 p.m., it's usually used as team practice windows for all of our different esport titles from Hearthstone, Overwatch, and League of Legends. And so for this team in particular, I believe they practice on Friday evenings and Monday evenings. So the team's young. There's at least 2 or 3 first years, I believe, when I was going over through that roster list. So they've had about a semester now to kind of build up that synergy to be taking them on into this Collegiate Star League bracket. So they've been having pretty successful results, going, I believe, all the way here to the quarterfinals. I think 2-0s almost all throughout the board one game taken to Game 3 back in January 19th against University of Washington. But yeah, as they were going in through these games early in January, we didn't get a chance to shoutcast. Our shoutcasting team is pretty limited right now in terms of volunteer students, so we're always looking for people that want to contribute to the program outside of just gaming, marketing, design, logos, all of that stuff is all of those talents are going to be have some sort of use here in our organization. So we want to continue building that community. So luckily though, I was able to find a slot, so I'm really glad to see that these guys are still continuing to stay together, keep up that level of commitment to both their team and to themselves in improving the game. And you know, a lot of these guys in the beginning of the fall when they were going through their initial tryouts, I think they were mid silver, mid to low silver, and through that team synergy, I think almost all of them finished out like in gold. So you know, for especially for that kind of transition is what we want to definitely see, where students are being able to develop their skills and their mechanics through teamwork. So through games like these, and you know, 5v5 League of Legends is a completely different animal than taking on like Solo queue madness, and not to mention now in season 9 with how crazy the games are going. But we are almost completed with the spectate delays, so we're going to be jumping into the game now. Uh, so as we got that going, we'll be switching over to our other scene here. Hopefully that all of the audio is coming out alright. I don't usually have a problem when it comes to League of Legends, but I definitely had some feedback when I was casting for Overwatch a couple weeks ago, last week, so if there's any viewers that are watching this game on the early afternoon, definitely appreciate any feedback you guys can give me to continue improving the stream. So again, Illinois Tech taking on Stony Brook here in the first round of the quarterfinals. This, I believe, is a best of 3 match. Taking a quick look, IIT has more skins, so 4 out of 5. There's your advantage already right there. No icon synergy, no club tag synergy from either side, so there's not something to keep in mind. Fascinating runes coming out from the Vagar with that Dark Harvest. I like it. So I guess their Stony Brook's bot lane is pretty confident about being able to take advantage as fast as they can in the early game to hopefully get that Vagar up to where he needs to provide some serious damage for IIT. But IIT with a pretty well-rounded comp with 2 tanky boys, and Zaya's always going to be tough to catch, especially with the with her level 6 ult coming up. So if IIT is able to sustain themselves up to that point, hopefully they'll be able to have a good match. Alrighty. So let me change up the mic a bit. It's coming in pretty loud I'm getting, so change it up a little bit. Both teams going in for a pretty standard approach here, covering all entrances. Jin watching out for his bot Tribush. Zaya actually not watching out at this point, so got that going on. Kane approaching the bush, but Nocturne does spot him out. So as Vagar's going to try to go in for an early Q, but he runs right into 3 members of Stormbird. Could be dangerous. The Ignite and Auto coming in. That could be the first blood coming in. 39, 29 HP, a Flash and an Ignite going for this Vagar. Gonna leave him Summoner's List, but with the back from Kane, he'll have about 14 seconds to get back to his lane if he wants to have any hope. Already popping out the potions, but no worries because he's got the refillables. So level 1, Kane gonna have to probably start near the top side with the Raptors, but IIT's bot lane already compensating by going over to with an early bot lane approach. Only Jhin able to be helping on the Nocturne, and in terms of summoners, we got a Nocturne that does not have his, excuse me, a Kane that does not have his flashers. So. Thresh will be starting out his E, pretty standard again. Stony Brook will be having the advantage here as they're going to be looking for that level 2. Jhin will be getting it first, but Disifei already providing much needed harass here for the Lissandra. And with her, she's, with Lissandra, if I'm not mistaken, she always has been fairly heavy mana reliant, so making sure that she's able to manage that resource is going to be important. Meanwhile, bot lane on New York side is pushing up the lane slowly but surely. Level 2 coming out finally for the Thresh, so he's going to have that Q and E available if he's able to knock any hooks against a summonerless Veigar. Couple more changes, but a nice delay on it. It's going to be able to take a pretty low, forcing the flash, forcing the heal from the Jhin, taking Veigar pretty low, but he's still trying to provide any harassment to auto attacks from straight out front, so IIT in the meantime, Thresh taking a decent amount of damage there. Not sure the intent of that. But Swain is looking like he's roaming around, going to be finding out that Nocturne, coming all the way around, so going to be looking at the first blood here, like Kane here with no summers. He's being that exposed, but Swain trying to come out from the back is going to leave him pretty closed off, and Stony Brook trying to see if they can get themselves back into it, but Nocturne with a flash available is going to be possibly able to get himself around there. Darius here as well as the grass, but the Swain going for the 1v1 against Lissandra does get that kill. Darius also forcing a flash out of him, but the bleeding from Nocturne ensures that they get the kill, and IIT is going for a bloodbath here in Stony Brook's blue jungle. While that's happening, not too much excitement here in the bot lane. We've got a Jhin with a slight CS lead already within the 4-minute mark, and again, Illinois Tech is again opting to just try to withstand the lane pressure that the Veigar is going to be providing. Even with the summoners list, looks like IIT's not really ready to fully commit for that. That could just be a little bit of the inexperience for the bot lane in terms of the prelates, which is Thresh, apparently not a support main, ADC main, so keep that in mind. Another skirmish here with a double buff Darius coming in here, so San knowing that he can't really contest that, and again, Nocturne, level 3 here, about to hit level 4 after he finishes this Krug. Kane about in a similar position, going in for the gank. Another gank right in front of the Jhin. One more auto could do it! Get the hook onto the Jhin. Another ignite coming in, but again, Veigar is just not able to get that kill. So let's actually take a quick rewatch of that to make sure we get it all. So again, Jhin forcing the cloud side upon right after. Veigar going for the ignite, getting 1 autos, 2 autos in, but taken to 43 HP. Just 1 more auto could have been able to do it. So IIT going for these early ganks, and the pressure that's being provided from that Kane is definitely helping them out. Just gonna definitely make sure that Veigar doesn't get too scary to a point that they have to throw the towel. So as we're looking at the first back, Zaya with the 2 assists, going to be going for 2 long swords, boots, pretty standard. Jhin, similar. And again, Kane coming here for his gank as well though, but with only a blue buff approach though. Trying to see if she can get across, but ooh, with the Swain pool and another kill from Kane coming in. So good approach from IIT, and I believe Kane's pathing was through their red jungle, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, even with Stony Brook's blue ward right here, they don't catch him out there. Kane going to be finishing up these Raptors, should be getting pretty close to level 6 after initial back, so if they're able to kind of pace themselves well for the return of their blue buff for IIT, that's going to be providing some more kills for them. Meanwhile, the Darius still holding out on his own, pretty even in terms of CS with the Scion, but is level 5. However, lack of vision, I believe, for IIT leads to a kill on the Nocturne, and just able to retaliate right back after that Lissandra. But Lissandra did TP back to lane. Swain will have his, so he's going to have to make sure that he manages that carefully. Stony Brook's Nocturne going in for a stroll inside IIT's blue jungle is going to get spotted out by that ward. Some pain coming out, but he is going to be clearing that. Jhin, Veigar again just continuing to push up where they can, but 12 CS deficit for Desire here, but just trying to see, they do spot the Nocturne coming back out of his jungle, so Nocturne not being level 6 yet, couldn't be likely for any huge dives, but Veigar is trying to see if he can still provide to harass. Zaya's still pretty healthy though, so Disifei not using his teleport to get back into lane, is instead just keeping himself here at the mid lane. As the buffs are about to respawn, Nocturne has gotten his second red of the game. And as we're approaching, Veigar is still a little bit behind from the bottle. Yeah, about a half level behind. IIT seeming to be comfortable with letting, with in the bot lane, letting them push themselves up here. So if they get that level 6 advantage, could look for a big kill, but IIT is going to be spotted by that ward. Officer Sup Kane trying to see if he can get a way inside there, but trying to land where he can. This will be important. Misses the play, unfortunately. Gets the Jhin. It's going to be interesting to see how this happens. Zaya with level 6, with running himself right into the Lissandra, but the lantern grab and for the Lissandra ult captures him in place. Unfortunate kind of setup there for IIT, missing a lot of abilities despite the level 6 start, but Swain catching him, spinning himself, caught out, he's trying to find this, is going to be taking him pretty low, and that'll be another kill being netted for Nocturne here, so 2 kills on him, 3 kills total, but 2 from the Swain, I believe, yes. And that's unfortunate for IIT as they're kind of taken right back into a gold swing here for 400 gold lead here for Stony Brook. Pings coming out from Illinois Tech as they do spot the Nocturne around the Dragon Pit, but he has already used his ult, so they don't have to be too concerned about that. Disifei Swain finally using his TP to get to mid lane, so game kind of reaching a call point right here is kind of that early skirmish, but again, kind of going back to that gank approach, they already got spotted by the ward, and I guess the initial idea was to try to bait the bot lane to try to come to that tri-bush and stop it, but Veigar putting his E right into the Jhin. Veigar trying to get what he can, but no hooks are able to successfully land. But Darius, meanwhile, in the top lane, the 2v2 happening here with Lissandra and Swain. Lissandra and Kane, excuse me, Swain, Kane, same thing. Nocturne again trying to see what he can do, but his ults are going to be taking about another minute left. That ward, they are going to get spotted. He is going to get spotted by that ward, so IIT knows that they can't keep pushing. Darius, meanwhile, with his back, getting to Merc, getting to Phage, so again, still trying to go for these roams. I like that approach for both teams and just where they can get these fights. But again, another skirmish happening here on the top lane. But taking the Lissandra pretty low, I don't think she used flash, so she's just fine. But definitely going to make sure that the King can keep up with that Nocturne, especially with those 2-3 kills on him. He's already got some shutdown hold on him. Mid lane going to be pushing up. IIT just finishing up the bot wave as they push into the tower, so she'll probably be coming back with her by getting that BF sword. Good for her. Level 17 Nocturne just hitting a level 8, so we've got about a full level. Half a level on Nocturne here, so important that the next fight that's going to come out with these junglers that if IIT wants to stay inside the game, you gotta be making sure that that Kane can keep up, especially with those smite advantages for some of these objectives like the Cloud and the Rift Herald. IIT spotting out a ward that they see, trying to see if they can get anything, but Veigar already kind of going in all the way. He is going to get spotted by that ward. Veigar already putting some out there to see if they can move up the blue buff. They do know that's up there. Almost 6 ult coming in here on the Darius, so taken really low, and again another kill getting out of headed for a Nocturne. So IIT knows that their junglers topside are going to be able to respond accordingly. Swing here going for his blue buff. Rogue coming from the Swing potentially, but forcing a level 2. The flash not really getting any better, but another hook is able to get it. Should be able to get a kill here. So first one here, Lissandra being left out of play, pushing her back to the bush. That should be a good idea. She uses the ult on herself. 3 members versus 2 on IIT. Kane just coming in, getting the flash out, but Kane trying to see anything that he can do. Swing gets the hook, and what's that? So a 4v3 battle here in IIT's favor with no kills on them. Able to land another bind and combine with all players. Oh, Thresh! Ooh, 47 HP. Nice close, maybe. Thinking a little bit scary there, but looks like it's all for the better. Keep in mind, Jhin, I believe, does have level 6 ult, so if he's IIT's not, watching their backs, could be dangerous. They're looking like pinks are coming out for the dragon, but they're going to pass over that tri-bush ward that they saw, so just going to try to see if we can get it down as low as possible. The TP is coming into the sides, so they got to be prepared for it. 1300 HP for it. 94 HP. IIT secures the dragon, but blue team is here to respond instantly with 3 kills, 4 kills. Going here for Stony Brook, and they instantly just have an answer back for that. So IIT committing a lot for that Cloud Drake, and I'm not sure if that was the correct play, because you got Nocturne here going for the solo Rift Herald with 4 members of IIT down. Comes right into the Darius, but Nocturne is able to get that ult before he can. Usually his go is going to probably force the Nocturne flash out, but Darius still looking for that chase. He wants it, but unfortunately, you got both of these lanes are getting their towers dangerously low, and IIT, Stony Brook's got one more touch on that to get that final turret splitting off mid lane tier 2. Same here with the bot lane here. One more tick should do it. I don't know if they're going to commit hard for it. Thresh with those ability boosts. Trying to see if he can land any hooks, but Jhin missing his W. Ooh, hook just missing. So, meanwhile, Kane trying to see what he can do inside their jungle, but he's about to run into this Nocturne unless the Nocturne has these Raptors. Could be a sneaky trick. So it looks like he's going to be going for it first. Getting his spike, getting good red steal, so keeping good on IIT to just try to always look for as many kind of fights as possible. The Thresh hook coming in, but not being able to connect, and that Nocturne's going to be aware of this. So he's got that level, he's got his ult in, so he's looking. No vision coming in from IIT side. They walk right into unboarded building, but they're thinking really low, and IIT trying to see if they can get themselves out. But level 9 Nocturne here, with his ult still available at the ready, likely going to be able to heal himself right back after he takes these frogs, so he's going to be looking at that game on the bot lane, I believe. And again, right idea, definitely for the Kane, but with no vision, being able to present themselves in the bush, you gotta be making sure that you're watching, keeping that in mind. Meanwhile, yeah, we've got about mid laners staying about pretty consistent in terms of the CSing, but those assists on the Lissandra doesn't help Disobey anymore. Making these two, and that will be another tier 2 turret falling in Stony Brook's favor, and IIT has yet to capture their first one. Bot lane trying to hold on as much as they can as they've got about 1500 health left on that tower. Sion roping himself looking around bot here. After this, could Stony Brook be looking for a lane switch potentially? But we've got pings coming out we've got 4 members of Stony Brook coming in down here. out from Disifay instantly out of the fight right there after that Veigar ult. Taking dangerous, maybe single but traded with Veigar's stopwatch. Pretty exciting fights going on right now. So, in terms of the approach, I'm trying to. IIT's bot lane definitely got to be stepping it up in terms of how they respond to these fights. Fresh and Zaya definitely need to be working with that synergy together. But as the Rift Herald is that timer is about to be running out, Nocturne just places it right on the bot lane. IIT knows that it's coming up, so pretty good distraction though. As it's coming up, these 29 seconds, it'll get itself to be within its range of this tier 2. So if Darius is not here for that fight, this Inferno will be going over to Stony Brook, as we have a Nocturne with a probably likely a 2-level advantage coming up pretty soon. So we got level 9.5 for the Kayn. Only a level, yeah, but if Nocturne clears both of these camps, I think he's going to be pretty close to level 11. But as the Inferno is getting spawned straight right off the bat, looks like Stony Brook is going to be doing that right from the beginning. So they see that the Kayn's all the way up there, and again, yeah, that strategy to be able to push IIT to just force themselves top lane to prevent any more towers from getting lost makes this a 4-man dragon approach here for IIT. But the Veigar E-trap stopping them in their place, and Lysandra's looking for a kill, but the threat is going to be caught out here, and they're trying to clear vision where they can, forcing the flash out. Another 2 kills going over for Swain here, and Swain, Sion here being too tanky with that Spectre's call. Swain not being able to do that damage, and IIT just not ready to take those fights. Going for the spite fight, but Kayn does end up losing that one out. He's trying to ease right into the Veigar E, but is stopped right in his track with the ult to the face, and another take off the tower will be a tier 1 mid lane going down for IIT, and IIT is already getting just kind of pretty close to that point of no return with a 7k, 16k, 7k deficit. Trying to do whatever they can to hold on, but IIT here trying to see if they can get a weekend kill. Maybe Stony Brook's overstaying, but 2 points comes in, 2 kills comes in for right off the bat. Zai just trying to do what she can, but she just doesn't have those items to do damage that she needs to that tank line. But Darius trying to use his ghost to see if he can get anything in. Hooks into Sion. Sion haven't used his flash out of there, but it seems like IIT's kind of giving up that fight. But Kayn going in straight in for that shit. Instantly deletes him. So yeah, Kayn here with the most kills is the likely solution to just like try to see if he can be able to get those picks. And you know that gank approach, I believe, from IIT with their bot lane and jungler just doesn't seem to be working in its favor. So the best bet here that we've got for IIT now is likely just to have the Kayn have the ability to go inside their jungle. He has the ability to go through those walls, try to just see if he can catch anyone out on their lonesome. Veigar Jhin going to really instantly fall to Kayn if they're not having their summoners or their cooldowns that they need. So last hope definitely, but if we want to be trying to wait for IIT to get where they need to, but going for the 1v3 here, Sion's still being a tanky boy, but Nocturne right here back to answer. Gets the hook onto it, but runs right into Sion, and this 3v2 is quickly turning into a 2v1, 2v4, and yeah, I'm not sure about that. IIT here is trying to just get whatever they can, but taken really closely. The Darius is just trying to do what he can, holding on to some, going in for that 1v1, but it's a little too late, I think, and he's providing enough of a distraction here for the 3 guys for Stony Brook to keep pushing on. Honestly, I would just keep going, but forcing the ult from Darius does not net any kills, and as IIT is about to respond, we already have the first inhibitor down. 4 members of Stony Brook regrouping, 5, so he's trying to take on for this tier 1. Sorry, I got my tiers messed up. This is tier 2. Tier 1 is always outside, right? Sorry. Tier 2 is a lot more here. IIT trying to see what they can do in terms of just putting any vision on the map, but you've got Baron coming up, and that will likely be the last finishing touch that Stony Brook will be able to take game 1 here from the Scarlet Hawks. super minions coming in here. Saya just not really at that state where she needs to be in order to just be that source of damage that IIT needs. And a lot of fighting, I think, that happened here for IIT was taking place in that bot lane, and it's really on the having to be able to play it correctly, in my opinion. I think they have the right bot lane has the right approach in letting the bot lane just like push up on themselves unwillingly, but they gotta be able to work better together in terms of like threshing against lantern or landing reliably. Kane trying to clear as many camps as he can in order to stay relevant in the game with a 2-level deficit, but nobody moves on him, just trying to land as much damage as he can. 3 members sign trying to see what he can do, but IIT's got 4v4 situation right here. Doctor, no, not too far away with his ult. Swain trying to get himself into the TP just to be here for the fight in case anything breaks out, but no vision here for Stony Brook. So I don't know if they saw that TP coming in, but they are going to see this on. They're going to see this Swain now. He's taking him down pretty low. Most of the Zonia's out pretty early. Not really getting that much damage from him. And IIT slowly starting to trickle themselves into this fight, but getting the first one down with Darius is going to be Anthrax right after. Nocturne here to finish it up with 3 kills here going in Stony Brook's favor, and leaving the 2 sources of damage, Kane and Zaya, alone here. This will likely be looking for the first kill, but he gets the kill on the Veigar as he starts right in with the Nocturne. Is going to make sure that he doesn't get back in, and Lissandra now just trying to end the game where she can. Going to be followed up by Desan, and the Jin is going to make it harder, but it looks like this is coming into the game by IT. Trying to take any damage, but Desan is so tanky with already 3.5k damage. Ooh, forcing it out, but getting it but a little too late again. And Nexus here about to fall. This will be the first game going into Stony Brook's favor. GG's. Alrighty, so we've got a pretty decided victory here for Stony Brook with the 26-11 on kills and a 12k gold lead. But looking really quick at the stats as we jump over to the next screen, we've got yeah, definitely key players. Nocturne able to provide so many early kills there for the mid lane twice, falling likely due to vision issues, I believe, and then Lissandra having a hard time with the 1v1 into Swain, but eventually with those assists from Nocturne and a couple of really nice roams in that mid to late game that just like netted her so many kills, especially with her passive, comes out with the most damage here. IIT side, yeah, Kane trying to do what he can, Swain trying to do what he can with the 1v1, but bot lane, even with the even with the ADC matchup, Zaya coming out with more, but in terms of team play, Stony Brook knew what they were doing when they selected that sign. They knew what they were doing when they selected that knock. So IIT definitely has a lot to learn from this game 1. We're going to be coming into game 2 shortly, so let's do a quick update of the score. So Stony Brook currently right now leading 1-0 on Illinois Tech Hawks. Trying to get into the lobby when I can. Lobby is full. Gotta let him know that. Lobby full. Let me try one more time just to get myself in there. Lobby full. Someone move to spectate so I can get in. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright, so we're taking to the 1-0 here for Stony Brook, and again, a lot of the key decisions in how they tried to go approaching for those ganks really set IIT quickly behind after a couple of those first few initial just solo lanes. So IIT, I believe, they definitely have the better 1v1, 2v2 kind of approach, but when it came to those team fights, yeah, IIT definitely having the harder time of it in terms of just layering their abilities together to be able to get the kills that they needed. Stony Brook, you saw like Sion and the Noct. They've just got these two approaches on that Xayah, especially even when the Thresh tried to drag her back from the Lantern, just runs straight into the Sion ult, unfortunately. And a couple of vision problems coming from IIT mid lane. For those 2 kills on Nocturne, I don't believe there was any. Um, the couple, I think once or twice, that also Darius just getting caught in lane as the Nocturne just walked himself straight up from there. So, gonna have to be important for IIT's jungler, for Officer Suck to communicate with his team how he wants to be approaching these ganks, how trying to keep track of their jungler. So a couple of I like some of the initiative that he took from going inside their enemy red jungle to take that red buff as the Nocturne was just like unaware, just trying to do his normal pathing. But um, how they answer back, it's like, okay, well, he's gonna see it, he's gonna look for a gank right now for bot lane, so like don't do anything about it. And again, IIT getting called out a lot of those times was just due to lack of vision. They don't know what happened after I took this buff, right? So trying to make sure that they can predict enemy movement is going to be equally important as we're going to be taking into game 2 here. So as the both schools are going to go into the pro draft, we're just going to be taking a quick break here. Thanks. Alrighty, welcome back. Um, so for those just tuning in, this is Ellen Moy, entering Game 2 between Illinois Tech, League of Legends Division 3 team
If I
against
must.
Stony Brook University, LCS bound. And that Game 1, Stony Brook coming out ahead with a pretty resounding victory with the 12k goal lead. Um, and definitely able to spot out IIT's fighting style pretty early on.
Your commands tire me!
IIT taking on the early lead with the netting them some kills in these 1v1 scenarios, especially some advantages taken in their within Stony Brook's blue jungle in the early game, but especially a lot of those ganks that we saw coming in from that Nocturne, getting himself that early gold lead to keep up to catch right back up. And some misplays in the bot lane.
Impure fool.
Ganks coming in and that Veigar just denying that opportunity lets Stony Brook with that win. So as we are moving into Game 2, the first three bans have come out from both sides, with IIT going in for 3 of the picks that Stony Brook. So going to be forcing New York here to be adapting a different style with the Nocturne, Veigar, and Lissandra. All three of them doing a lot of having a lot of impact in that Game 1 for sure. Meanwhile, Stony Brook is going to be opting with the similar set of bans, so IIT just adapting their style straight off the bat, just trying to see, okay, we can't really adapt our fighting style right now against that comp. What are we going to be able to do to respond to that? And with those similar bans coming out for Stony Brook, they have been putting Disfei again onto the Swain and Kane again on the jungle, so seems like IIT is comfortable to play that same kind of style of what they had in the initial early game advantage. With that Lissandra ban and Nocturne ban, the picks for Stony Brook will be for the Xerath and Graves, respectively. Aatrox coming in, Tom Kench, it looks like, for top lane. I really hope that's a support. I haven't seen Tom Kench top lane talked about, but then again, I'm only a lowly plat player, so what do I know?
You reek of fear.
Another pick from another ban for IIT from Stony Brook's Game 1. They're especially bad out their entire team. It's just like, we're just not going to let you play any of that right now, so you're just going to have to play something completely new. But Stony Brook seems to be able to respond with that Aatrox and Graves, so they see, and Xerath, so they, all three of those being completely new picks. So it seems like we're going to be looking closely to see if Stony Brook can match that final style that they showed on so well in the mid game. Final ban being Galio here. Lucian coming in, able to go through here for Stony Brook, and again, we mentioned that Lucian's been really popular right now in the starter season 9 here. So going to be interested to see what comes out. Perhaps the last pick here for Stony Brook will be the Braum. Braum Lucian always consists pretty well, and I usually like to match that usually with Thresh, and it looks like Stony Brook is hovering it. So 10 seconds left on the clock against this Sivir and Thresh bot lane is going to be locked in. So in that bot lane, yeah, it's going to be all in that 2v2, just like mechanics outplay. Both of those lanes are fairly like Sivir with her advantage in wave clear, Lucian with his ability for dashing in and out to land any kind of damage with his Qs and Ws right onto them. Braum again works also insanely well with Lucian with his I forgot that ability that he has in his passive for the 2-hit, but getting that proc off will be really useful for Braum and Lucian. The tanks here will be Aatrox and Braum for sure. Braum going here for Ignite is going to be something interesting. So it seems, again, just the Stony Brook's bot lane is just really confident in their ability for that 2v2. Thresh here going for the conservative approach with the exhaust, and the 2 TPs coming out for IIT for their mid and top lane is going to, again, you know, Tom Kench already has that kind of his mini TP here, so seems like the team play, they want that Tom Kench to be more in those team fights, you know, Darius being limited to himself in that top lane, less in Game 1 with only his Ghost available. Didn't really net any crucial kills outside of the early game, so definitely could see the opportunity cost that it was for IIT. So as we're taking into the spectator delay now, in terms of general comments, I again, one interesting thing to note is that the Stony Brook had that Darius ban come out, so they know that they don't want to be that Darius was able to keep up with that matchup in the game 1 against the I'm blanking out on who it was. Sion, yes. So early game, but Sion in the end game was able to become just like so tanky that IIT just had like absolutely no response for Swain. Just like ran right into him, couldn't get any damage. Zaya as well in a similar position. Um, so in terms of approach, though, if Thresh is going to be able to land those hooks on any of those members, they're only going to be really having the Braum shield to kind of just soak up that damage. Aatrox can be a tanky boy, but he's got to get himself up there. Graves, he's not going to have as much of a initiation advantage like that Nocturne can exhibit with his ult, but if they're able to just like land that smokescreen just right as IIT's been pushed up so far, could see something happen. But in terms of side selection, it looks like IIT had the side selection in this case, and they had elected for the blue side. So could be seeing a possible advantage there if IIT is more comfortable playing on that side. I haven't really seen comments from Pirate Windows from their captain towards that. And yeah, so last 50 seconds on the clock. Things I want to be definitely watching out for to see. I like those skirmishes that were happening in the top lane. It seemed to work in IIT's favor early on, but it's going to be important for IIT to continue maintaining that vision that they so need, especially for those mid lanes. So Swain probably having to communicate with their team to make sure that they can keep track of their jungler again, especially with Graves. So Graves isn't going to be afraid in terms of just walking right in there for that 1v1 ability. If Kane can get himself up there for any early ganks, killing the Aatrox might be a challenge, but running right into Graves or Xerath is not as hard. I'm just going to put that out. I'm just going to go with that. Alright, as we're switching over to the in-game screen, let's see, all of the information seems to still be the same, so that's good. Let's see, in terms of runes, we've got Grasp, Dark Harvest, and for IIT. Oh, I take it back. Looks like the Thresh had actually equipped the Ignite instead of the Exhaust. I was talking about how they might have been more conservative, but it looks like IIT's just going to be matching themselves right up into the face of Stony Brook and be like, you know what, I'm not going to let you push that advantage. So, as we're taking into the game, let's see how it goes. IIT, this will be a must-win condition for them if they are to advance through the quarterfinals here for Collegiate Star League's JV2 bracket. So, to take us to Game 3, that's going to be the wish here. Going to be interested to see if both sides go for a similar approach here with the 5-man spread. I always liked having, like, my style has always been just try to, if I'm on blue side, just go through the bot tri-bush and just see if they can spot any members coming out from the river that just caught unawares. But looks like both sides have elected to just continue the 5-man spread, and that's always been, no one wants to do that unless they're super confident. But, oh, what do we have here? Lucian watching himself right inside the bush, Braum all the way behind here. He's taking his chances, but he hasn't started an ability yet, so he's got the chance to just dash right back in. But IIT watching their tri-bush, they're keeping that in mind. Kane, no vision right here on this, and neither on Stony Brook's actually. So it's like, let's just leave this gap on unawares. No wards being placed down either, so. In terms of approach, we're going to likely be seeing the Kane come in for the red start, but pings coming out from Stony Brook. They don't want that Braum there. They got a feeling something's happening. No vision inside here, so Braum might just be throwing out a blind Q. And as we have the Thresh start to approach, he puts in that ward, but they know that there's vision in there. So both bot lane has treated back to the defensive lane, but Graves will be going here for the red scar. Gonna be interesting to see if he goes like for any level 3 cheese. I have seen it before. It's something that's really popular right now with ranked solos. I don't like it, but hey, what do you know? So Stony Brook's here will be the red side. For those of you that won game 1, I was red side game 1. Now they are blue side. So keeping that in mind, Lucian here getting into the lane first, but already getting an early push as we're going at the, if we're looking at the number 2. Kane is going to be spotted by this ward as he takes the scuttle. So meanwhile, Graves here going for the Krug. So potential gank coming in if the Graves decides to path up. So, but he's going down for the Raptors. Looking back here at the lanes. Level 2 coming in just now for the Lucian, so that's going to be dangerous if the decide to go for dashes. Level 2 finally coming in for the Thresh, getting his Q in for the Braum, but no answer for Lucian. So IIT again just going for the traditional approach. Graves is all of his mana just leaves his rapid camp, and he's going to be taking pretty long time to close that lane. Level 3 hitting now just for the Swain, but he's taking a full front of damage from here for the Xerath. He might be looking for that flash just as he's about to get that auto though. Swain flashes away, and that would have been a kill for sure. So Xerath, I believe, has got mana for one more ability coming in, so could get the snipe if he's spotted out, but Xerath calls him on it, forcing the Swain to just waste a little bit more time. Kane here would likely pick up the slack. Here with 2 buffs, walking himself right out there. He doesn't have a lot of mana. So it's going to be interesting to see what he gets himself in there, but Graves is not there. Looks like he's confident in matching himself there. Just soaking up some XP, Swain forcing, getting himself back to the TP. Gets the hook with Lucian, and we have our first fight in the bot lane here. But Lucian able to land all of the Braum blocks right on there, and Graves is looking here for his first gank. W coming in for the Thresh, they're forcing the fights, but Flash on both sides of the fight, getting that first kill. Braum trying to see if he can do it. No vision, one more auto could do it. The Ignite here for the Thresh, and I don't believe Sivir actually would have gotten that kill. So that's unfortunate. That's good that they got the kill. Unfortunate that it was the Thresh. IIT trying their hand at their gank, but Aatrox able to kite himself back right out of it. So already SBU, Stony Brook displaying some early game advantages here, despite the expectation that IIT would be able to match themselves. So Stony Brook able to show that they're able to adapt to those bans, and going to be trying to see if they can get the answer back for Graves walking himself right in front of there, and IIT not wanting to check their bush. That's a classic mistake. Always from the support if you get killed, just path yourself up here. I just threw myself right here just to check for the Krugs, but looks like they just, instead of trying to focus on getting whatever CS that they can. Kane here getting spotted out by the board, so he knows that he's backing. Getting the domination on the Xerath, but Braum here going up for another roam. Just giving the high out there, just giving a shout out, but Graves taking command of the Kane jungle, and looks like Kane's trying to pass for the Krug first, and IIT does not know that it's gone. So that's going to delay them even more, but the Kanes are coming out from IIT that someone's inside that jungle, so they don't know, but Kane has no vision inside this red jungle. Thresh trying to walk himself up here, see if they can catch any members. About to walk face first into the Thresh, but there's a Braum here. Braum getting his Q, but looks like they're taking it back out. The hook is able to land. Trying to see if he can get the play on, that's going to be important. Gets the play on Braum, could be another kill here, but meanwhile, 1v1 on the Swain takes it too close, and Braum able to walk himself out there, unfortunately. So another setback for IIT as we're continue, as Stony was able to just get themselves those kills early on. Trying to go for the roams, but they're going to get spotted by those wards. Are they going to commit themselves to a lot right here? Xerath able to dodge the Kane ability. Dodge master right here coming out for SBU's mid laner, and that's going to set Thresh back even further as we're going to be starting to see the Lucian and Sivir being matching in terms of ability. So level 6 advantage. Ooh, is not able to get the cannon minion. That's Ripperino. Sivir, meanwhile, both supports about to come back onto lane about their respective times, but interesting that Braum doesn't have the same level as the Braum isn't the same level as Thresh. I would have assumed that Braum had more, but I guess I'm mistaken. But even with the waves here pushing up for IIT, they're too scared to go forward, and not too sure why though. I mean, in terms of items, Thresh already relegated himself with the Nomad's Medallion, so it's not a test for the auto, I guess, but no, you have to Vampiric Scepter for Lucian. I'm mistaken, so yeah, that's going to provide a little bit touch more damage for him. And yeah, that was from that kill that the Sivir was not able to get. That was on the Thresh instead. So, Kayn already going to be putting himself behind by about a level. Yeah, by about a level, and it's both both junglers are trying to do their red buffs because Graves had that early start. We're going to be seeing another gank coming in. IIT hopefully having the pings come out, but that Tom Cat just going to try to get out if he can. No summers available on him, so could be the kill taken pretty low. Gets the E just in time from the Graves ult and lives through it. Well played by the Tom Cat, and he'll be able to get back safely. Hopefully, he has his ult available, but in the bot lane, I'm sorry. Just as I passed over that, looked like we had a fight, so let's see how that happened. This was a level 6 advantage, it looked like, for the Sivir. So, yep, all of that damage going straight into the Thresh, getting all of it on him, taking the brunt of the Lucian. Good for the support to soak it. Unlucky that they got the kill, though. So, nothing much to be done there, unfortunately. Stony Brook still trying to show as much aggression as possible, and it's going to be dangerous to see if they can last it. I mean, they're looking for a pretty hard hit, but that exhaust, a healing coming in for them, and a TP for the top 10. Is IIT going to be able to respond to that? This is the Q. Already losing out on that trade, and IIT desperate for anything they can get, but Graves, meanwhile, is going to just take everything away from the jungler for Kayn. Going to set IIT back even further. IIT going to be losing out a lot here. So losing out about a wave here. This wave here that Aatrox has just pushed in. This one might not be able to get back in time. Tom Kench likely going to just try to ult himself back in here. And IIT already has taken out Kayn's jungle, so he's going to be almost 2 levels behind. Likely. First pick of the turret plating is going to come in. Kayn walking himself right there as Tom Kench just tries to hold himself as close as possible with the Swain and Tau, but again, another approach just from IIT, just not being able, Stony Brook just not just willing to challenge them on that fight, take their resources, get out. IIT meanwhile is going to force it if they can, no matter what, but forces Graves to flash, get at least anything they can get out of it. Meanwhile, Thresh trying to maintain his vision on the tri-bush as much as he can, but the Graves being taken low here, they're going to be spotted out by that, but a possible dive here coordinated. Aatrox trying to see what he can get, taking a lot of damage here. Able to soak it up. And in response, you have 2 laners coming in, two enemies. Xerath and Brock coming in. Doesn't really land any abilities consistently, going for the 1v1, but Kayn's caught out, able to go right back inside with the wall. So a 3v4 here, but 2v1 here on the Thresh, so on the Thresh Sivir, are they going to be able to try to see if they can force anything onto Lucian? Lucian not level, Thresh not level 6 yet. Tries to hook, does not land it. So meanwhile, Stony Brook just instantly transitions right back, pushing the Swain going to be a little bit behind. Going to have to use a lot of mana to just try to get the full clear in, but gets the land almost all of his abilities. Xerath going in for the ult, dodges one. Forcing the flash out of the ground, but is he going to be able to get that kill? I really hope so, but no, the Xerath is getting the stun, and the bigs are coming off from IIT. Thresh trying to see where he can get, but they're going to be able to walk out just fine. And that's unfortunate, you know, IIT with the 2v1 chance here, but unfortunately Thresh not being level 6, they're just not willing to force themselves for it. Meanwhile, the 1v1. Ooh, getting the hook on top on but Thresh just able to get out of it. So taking a decent amount of chunk there from the ult, but finally understands the need to finally just take advantage of that 2v1. Graves is able to try to land the shot on Lucian, onto the Thresh. God dang it. But does not get the kill. Meanwhile, losing out on the top lane, this one will go on a different story than what we saw from Darius, but with that Darius ban, they know that J-Mars9 is not comfortable on that top catch item. We didn't see that in his stat scores either, so meanwhile, Talkit's going to try to get back into the lane, prevent any first towers coming in. I think I'm going to look for 1v1 2 alright. I believe forcing the flash out from the Tom. He's going to have that Q. He's going to see if he can land it. But he's committing himself for this? I don't think he's going to get it. Okay, I'm mistaken. Dear God. Kane right here to pick it up, but I'm my mistake. I didn't know that he was that passive. I don't remember what was the situation. Maybe I would just have it. Meanwhile, though, as Kane's here in the top lane, Stony Brook just trades right back with that Inferno on. Brock going for another roam, trying to see if they can get this Swain down again. He's taken pretty low. Graves with his ult available in 30 seconds, but looks like they're going to just be able to go for the 1v1 ability, and even that roam not even needing to be necessary. And again, just taking over. Kane doing his round, trying to see what he can get, but he's going to walk right into two marksmen. Forcing the flash out, getting the Graves pretty low, but taking a decent amount of damage. Forcing the Graves to isolate themselves, but Braum here is now to catch himself back up. Syracuse doing what it can, but nice hook from the Thresh. Going to be landing the aggro onto the Lucian, but gets the kill. Good return here from IIT, getting one more kill. 3 kills going over to the bot lane, and Pink's coming out. Ooh, forcing the flashes, training the flashes for the Zera, trying to see if he can get that slow. That tick on him would have been crucial, but definitely some much needed kills coming in for IIT. And no Zerath ult is going to make sure that Thresh attacks safely, and IIT going to try to get what they can from this turret lane. The 2 ticks here should be able to get this tower in the bot lane, so good changes to be seeing out in the mid game. Looks like also IIT Stony Brook not respecting the damage that's provided from that Symmetry. She's got that Stormrazor's Tomcat tanky now a little bit, so good trades in terms of bringing Goldie back into IIT's favor. So they'll be clearing out some vision here in the red jungle, but Kane meanwhile going for the 1v1 with the Aatrox. Uses the ult, not able to land any kills. Thresh here to clear out any vision where he can, but Swain given a friendly intro, friendly hi to the Braum. They walk face to face, but 3 members of Stony Brook converging here now on the mid lane, trying to look for that kill. Forcing himself to use the ult. Not sure about that play. Tom Kent is trying to see what he can do, but interesting play. Not too much to comment on that. Graves going to be coming back with his items here, so that's going to be pretty dangerous. But a lot of damage being blocked straight off the from Stony Brook, and Tom Kent is caught just a little bit out of place. IIT not really having the answer for it. Swain already using up all of his mana early with ult. Sivir here, but the kills on the even despite that hook is able to continue their way forward. Kane trying to see what he can do. Sorry, that's a lot of action going on. I think I'm gonna keep up with it. Oh, 2 kills going over. IIT is still trying to hold on where it can. Another hook trying for the Thresh, but not able to land it. Ooh, and dodging the Graves ult again. Well played from IIT, so still keeping even with a little bit of gold coming out. So IIT holding on here. Kane getting a little bit of a knockup, so Kane and Sivir here. Decent comeback from them. Excuse me. Rapid fire cannon coming in for Sivir, going to get her that extra range that she needs. She's providing a lot of damage that SBU is not able to respond to yet. Aatrox going for a lot of damage, no armor items yet. Only art armor, no armor items yet. Braum doesn't have any armor. He's got maybe a Knight's Vow, hopefully coming in soon for him, but the Knight's Vow on the Thresh is already doing favors for the team. Tom Kench roaming his way in here. Looks like we're seeing Pinks to try to see if they have an answer for it. Tom Kench coming in from the back line here. Yeah, 1v3 situation. Misses everything. Fresh gets the flash play. Landing 2 members right inside there. 3 members in the 3v4. IIT not really here to respond yet. Silver and Kane are not in this fight. Trying to see if they can get themselves back up, but Kane here just walking themselves back. IIT trying to see if they can reboot this fight to see anything that they can get, but Atros coming in. It's going to be getting those tacos. Misses the hook on the minion. Whoops. Good idea with their approach. Doesn't look like it was communicated with their damage dealer. Sivir wanted to go clear the lanes. But yeah, you know, that's Swain with an 0-4. He's not going to be able to contribute in that team fight in that kind of situation. Takes landing onto the Braum, onto the Swain, excuse me, in front of Brook. Kane's still trying to look for his pick where he can. Dodges the Xerath Bolt, but shocking orb. Still trying to do what he can though. Take it pretty low. And yeah, looks like this mid-game point is very crucial for both teams, and as we're starting to look at these objectives, this is where it's going to be showing if IIT can come out in ahead. So as we have the second Infernal of the game taking place, IIT is not really ready for this. It only looks like they're doing damage dealers. They're just hovering on the edge with the Ignite coming in, but going for this approach here, trying to see if they can get the Aatrox down first. Sivir already taken down really low from a lot of the damage from the Aatrox, but IIT not really able to get that rotation in where they need it, and even with that, with Stony Brook getting that dragon first, they didn't have the answer for it. And it's starting to show, and IIT is starting to fall apart here within the within this mid-game phase as they're kind of shepherded right into the tower, but as the tower goes down, SBU's ready to collapse, getting his back up where he can. Kane trying to do what he can, isolate some members, trying to keep that Aatrox at bay, landing a nice hook there. 2 kills going in here for IIT's favor, and no mana left on the Xerath is going to make them very low. A nice little moment here to try to split the members. Kane still trying to get the kills. Shocking Orb is able to land, not going to be able to get it, but they're looking for it. No tower here, getting that smite, forcing the flash out to Xerath. Kane's still looking around, but doesn't look like they'll be following up any more past them. So good kills to answer back after Stony Brook didn't really was kind of split up Aatrox all the way in by his lonesome, and Aatrox finally able to get himself some health there with the Black Cleaver, but no armor items being present yet. Finally, Braum able to put on his, likely going to be putting his onto the Lucian when he can. Or Berries, actually. Either of them. Wayne getting a little bit on there, but Braum doesn't have to do much here. Just trying to delay IIT from getting this tower mid, as that will open up the map just a little bit that they need. Getting another pull on the Braum, but getting really low there. 64, 60 HP. So one more auto could have done it. Another hook coming in though. Take Lucian out of place right there. Gets a good catch from IIT. And Aatrox, they're not ready to respond despite the lack of vision. Speaking of, I don't really think I didn't really comment too much on vision in the mid game, so I guess I did a good job, I hope. Just a lot of kills that were just happening on the Swain side, which was like, in a 1v1 scenario, it wasn't even just lack of vision, it was just getting outplayed. Spell should come in a little bit too late for the Silver. Going to be already taking the half health and already out of the game, so no hooks are going to be looking for it, especially not for the hook. Shocking Orb able to land though, taking a lot of damage here. Swallow takes the Fresh out of the battle. The Hooded's going to be able to get the damage in here that they need though, and Swain taking, just not being able to contribute too meaningfully towards this game. I'm going to have to put a lot there. Heavyweight right in front of Sivir though, as the King comes around though, trying to see what he can go for first. The hook runs to Aatrox, forcing the flash up, with the direction infiltrates the Spirit follow up. Top 10 taking a lot of damage, forcing his E out pretty early. Graves with his ult, I believe, is going to be able to find some decent damage. 3 kills, 2 kills going on, 3 kills going on. And that ult finally connects. 3rd time the shot there for the Graves. Sivir taken right in there, uses the spell shield, good for her, but it's going to delay them even further, unfortunately. And as they get this tower, Graves is going to just clear out 2? Nope, just blue camp. Looks like a TP is coming out. Looks like they're picking for the Baron first, so members of Stony Brook aren't necessarily that healthy. If the Tom Kench is able to land a nice ult inside to get any of their damage dealers closer, they could do it, but pings are coming out from Stony Brook. They're not looking like they want to commit, so Aatrox wasting his TP essentially here. Wave here from IIT, pushing itself into here a little. They know that they need to address it, and because Aatrox used his TP, if he goes down there, IIT might have a man advantage here. So, trying to see what delays we can get, forcing the Aatrox out, getting a nice hook there, and this is the delays that we were talking about. Fresh hook will land, and back the Aatrox. And Lucian here going to be the one addressing the bot lane. So, IIT, 4 members in the mid lane, 1 member on the top lane. Some vision established in the river here for IIT, for but became catching himself again. Nice hook onto Zera, and a lot of that synergy is starting to show up now. Alright. IIT's warmed up and they're ready to go, so keeping themselves relevant within the big game. Another land up, another hook, and getting the Lucian, forcing himself right in there, getting the Lucian putting himself right there. One more auto will do it on the bridge. IIT collapses right on top of the tier 2 turret. And are we going to be seeing the pings for Baron? We do see a couple of Tom Kench saying, got more lick the tower a bit. Lick that tower a bit, but Thresh gonna try to see what he can do, put some vision down. He's got a ward, he's got 2 wards, putting down some more wards, gonna put himself right into the Baron pit. No junglers available, so Aatrox is the only one that's be able to provide the damage, so having to walk himself back all the way out here, I don't believe that he has the ability, he has that resurrection, so that is on the timer, I hope. Zera, though, meanwhile, is going to be able to, they don't know how much damage is on here. 4K, IIT members taking really low. Are they going to try to commit themselves for it? Zera, though, going to be doing a lot of damage to the IIT members. Missing 3 shots, only able to land 1, I believe, but it's enough to scare off IIT from hard committing. And SBU, though, meanwhile, going to retaliate right back with it, and it looks like they're not going to be able to contest it. So, again, a lot of it is in that timing, just those extra 1 or 2 seconds. If Tom Kench didn't walk up the lane, if he instantly ulted them inside the pit, things might have been a little bit different. And unfortunately, despite that kill lead, we're going to have to try to see if he has a big clear potential. They've got it. Simmer's here. She's been pretty relevant in the game. Swain finally starting to get some stuff in there, and I like the synergy that came that Thresh have built up together with the knockout, getting that essentially the guaranteed hook there for him. Swain, meanwhile, trying to see what he can get, but getting the scuttle there, helping out a little bit. Rob caught out a little bit. I remember the great forcing himself out there. IIT wants to convert him, just getting the hook onto the Aatrox though. Aatrox is getting caught out first, blinded Rob as well, so leaving 3 of the tankier members. Tom Kench going in right in there, but they wanting to do this, but IIT ready to respond. Another hook up onto Grace, forcing himself to hold right there, but no answer from that. King, a big boy here. IIT getting their dodges. Xerath with no vision on here, trying to see just where is it. But yeah, all right. A bold move to Tom Kench to just like try to bait the try to go back in and nets them. Graves getting pretty close, but I don't believe Graves using any summoners, and this is wasting time for Stony Brook with their Baron buff. So IIT confident enough to still be fighting even with that Baron buff in place, but we've got a pretty large wave here. 3 members of Stony Brook here pushing in. Again, Simmer with that wave, they're able to hold themselves off here. Only the final turret standing in their place here, so 4 or 5 members of IIT converging. No vision here from this Kane, so it's going to be, hopefully, that they can keep up with it. They know that he's around here, as he walks right into the wall, but he's going to be caught out. In a dangerous spot right here. Kane with his ult, with the flash, going to be available really soon. I don't think he has it just yet. Pushing himself right back out there, but the flash is taking really low. Trying to get himself a great ult will not land. Tom Kench trying to take what he can. Taking the Simmer doing a decent chunk of them as well. And we're at that end. Both teams just walk away. So both teams able to hold on their own. So even with this Baron buff, Zera's going to try to get the ult where he can. Fresh! No! One more auto will do it! He wants it. but he misses and able to survive it. So good on him. Kane though, here to retaliate. Oh, you're on my boy. Get off my boy. And he's ready to dance for even with the Zonia. So getting caught out really good onto the officer stuck here. Good initiation from him. And you know, we saw him falling a little bit behind in game 1 here, but he's ready to take the lead here on the approach. And with no vision on here though, is just able to miss the kill and is going to just a little bit too close, forcing out the Zonia, is forcing IIT to go really hard for this defense, hard for any kills that they can get. By the time can't take it really low here. The Sivir trying to do what she can, but she's going to be taken too low. Still trying to go for as many kills as they can. Oh man. Whew. Scratch wanted to see what he can get. Play does not connect unfortunately. And I think we're going to be having Baron buff being taken away now. So Baron buff removed. Stony Brook not really able to net much from that. I don't believe any towers were taken. It was mostly just fighting within that dragon area that IIT won the advantage, and then the lane push here didn't really net them any kills, but a little bit on the bot lane, Stress trying to see IIT still willing to flex their muscles for it. So 27 minutes into the game, small gold lead in favor for Stony Brook, but those items that are going to be coming out that are needed for IIT here going to be called out here. Once before touch will get it, but Kane is going to be able to typically above. Brock getting caught out here. So Stony Brook support not really in a good place, but the Xerath caught a little bit out here, but he's got a little bit of MR to keep himself in place. Deep flash hook gets the Xerath, and IIT instantly collapses. Xerath, Kane still looking to see if he can get anything. Just the mark left here, holding themselves in the mid lane, and Aatrox here, unfortunately, even with a TP, they know that he's there. IIT is going to be able to get themselves here to the turret, and they're setting their sights here for the inhib turret. 3 minions on IIT. Kane here to hold them back, trying to use this fight. Still trying to see what he can do, but the Aatrox coming in for the flank here, kind of isolating the Russian hold, not letting them get in through. Aatrox with his passive available, but Redemption coming in for the flash, taking a lot of damage on the top 10, uses his E to split it up, but the only left in the problem. IIT, that's it. If they keep committing hard, that's their lucky place, but all of those kills coming in favor of Kane. And this might be looking like game 2 in favor of IIT. They're looking to end. Trying to see if we can land the hook. Another beautiful hook on Graves. Graves having to flash himself out. One more auto could do it. Xerath retaliating with his hold, but landing almost all of them that he needed to. But 20 seconds, and IIT going to commit themselves for it. Thresh taking pretty low, no mana. IIT going to take it, take the numbers pretty close, but Swain. Okay, good. IIT able to get the first Nexus turret down, and as we're taking ourselves a deep breath here, we've got the Baron spawning in 1 second, an Ocean Drake and spawning in 13, but IIT gonna have to make sure that they can not commit the same mistake that they did last time, where they tried to do the Baron, had to negate it, had to leave, and then let Stony Brook just take right over it. So IT trying to put the vision where they can cape, but you've got both of their damage dealers heading down bot, so if they get spotted though, it's going to be tough. SBU will know that, but looks like both teams are deciding to just wait their time for the Baron. They got some vision that they need. They know if anything's coming up, and IT's moving themselves here for this Ocean Drake. Both of all dragons so far have been in favor for Stony Brook, but going to be important to see if the Aatrox is going to be useful in this game. Yobu's coming out, but the Dead Man's first game is able to match him up with speed. Thresh trying to see what he can do, catch out any of the members, but the getting themselves to plan out, getting the Graves in, getting the play in, so 2 members of IIT very fast. Simmer already on the back line. Aatrox isn't going to be able to touch her, but Graves is left alone. But IIT, not really advantage so far, kind of in SBU's favor, and going in for that hard 1v1, Simmer holding out on her own, that's what we came. They could look for the 1v1. Sarah using his zones, but IIT, I believe taking his favorite swallow. I like it. Tom Kench with his ult not ready yet, so IIT just gonna have to force themselves to walk all the way up. 20 seconds on the closest member available. Looks like IIT will be able to take this game too, and it looked pretty messy there, but Sivir able to hold out on her own. The GG's coming out. It looks like someone's gonna be putting away this, and IIT holding themselves on to live another day. Good friends. Don't do stupid things. They're doing very stupid things. The Nexus is going to actually respawn, I believe, but no. Excuse me, the engine turret, but good games. Really good games. Let's actually watch that dragon fight one more time. I want to see how it happened. So, dragon fight gets the bush. I rush land to hook first on the Graves. So, Kayn here, distracted here, but as they initially move up, so the path here for the Sivir, she's going to get herself away from the wall, but take off damage. But all of this damage dealing coming out right here, forcing this swing, kind of just trying to place herself as much as possible. But they're isolated now, right? So, Kayn's still trying to kind of round himself on the edge, trying to cut themselves off the entering. So I thought it was really bad here because, yeah, look, 2 kills down, so we're already at a 3-member advantage. Alpine coming in right here. Kayn getting another auto there on H that he needed. Lucian dashing in face first, just trying to do anything that he can, but the damage combo here. Yeah, Tom Kench chasing himself all the way in there. I don't know about that flash, but whatever. Trying to get what they can. So it's let's hope Sivir moves over here. Graves is in the damage, but the Lucian's there. Needs to swing and take. He died first, which is fine. Tom Kench, I'm not sure about that time on where he was. It was yeah, he's trying to get himself. No, he ulted himself 2 steps. What? Why would you do that? Just walk and don't let the Xerath move in front. I guess he just wanted to not let the Xerath have an avenue, but overall a good game by both sides. Really well played from both sides. IIT really nice comeback on the mid game with the Thresh and Kayn synergy. Huge fan of it. It's good. Good games. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the damage just so I can get this in the screen. Yeah, Sivir popping off here, Xerath popping off, and Lucian definitely not in a good spot with his game performance. But Kayn and doing his job as well, so I like it. I like it. God damn it! Why is it always full? All right. Yeah. Alrighty. So we're gonna be going back into the. We're going into game 3 here. Play the Silver Scrapes. Hold on, I'm actually gonna get the Silver Scrapes song. Let me change up the score a little bit. We've got Team 1 here. IIT now on a 1-1 position, and we are going to be starting that pick ban phase first. But until we do, we'll be right back after both teams, I believe, just take a break. So he's from UFI. But yeah, really exciting games today here on a Saturday. So, oof, where to pick bans? I guess they've already done it. So, all right, I'll play the Silver Scrapes later. Looks like they've already did pick bans, and yeah, I guess they could. They have the 3-minute delay that I have to spectate delay, so that probably was what they were doing while we were waiting. We're taking to game 3 on this. Alrighty. Just make sure everything on my scenes are correct so far. Stony Brook 1-1, Illinois Tech Div 3. Okay. So looks like IIT is ready to go. SBU also ready to go. So we'll be going into game 3 shortly. Or not. Maybe they're still in champ select. Oh, pick band phase, excuse me. Yeah, champ select. I guess while we're waiting for that, we'll go to team break then. I'll do that.
If I must.
Your commands tire
Alrighty,
me!
we are back. So, game 3. This is the final game of the set between Illinois Tech versus Stony Brook. For those that are tuning in, my name's Elvin, also known as Epoxy. shoutcasting today's game for Illinois Tech's League of Legends Division 3 team as they take on the Stony Brook University LCS bound in the quarterfinals for the JV2 bracket. So we just saw game 2, IIT really able to capitalize.
The weak fear the shadows.
Fear controls
Improve
them.
on their mid-game performance with the Kane and Thresh pulling out some really nasty knockups and hooks that I really like to see, and just netting Sivir those kills. That in that end game, she's at that like 1v3, 1v4 phase. Like I was looking at that fight again. Like the Tom Kench did not come in until like the mid to like end of point of that fight in the Dragon Pit. It was crazy. Like definitely MVP going out there. For the Sivir to be able to just continually just like not let Stony Brook just like get those small advantages, just able to constantly bring the game back into that even state. We're gonna start seeing the picks and bans come out. So Kane finally being banned here for SBU here, as they have recognized the problems that are potent with officers stuck here. So in response, though, we've got the Master Yi coming in, and I like to see some Master Yi plays. That gets me going, but you know, that's a very solo queue-esque champion. Works if in a 5v5 situation. If you plan yourself and you layer your abilities, you can make that Yi pretty much negated if he's caught out, you know, on his own. But we've got the J4 Swain being played again on Disafay, but the Scion coming out for SBU. Lots of Kane boys coming in, so there is Ben and the Kane band coming in for SBU here. SBU here will be playing on the blue side. IIT will be red, so we have switch sides again. Jax Jungle coming in. 1v1 Jax versus E. I want to say Jax wins, but we'll see what happens. I feel like early game Jax just has the advantages because he needs that attack speed to get those Qs going, right? Like Jax just wants wax. But the Tom Kench support being banned out for excuse me, Tom Kench top. Why would they ban Tom Kench? He wasn't that big of an issue. But we're looking at the bot lane here. Sivir and Lucian being both picked respectively for IIT and SBU. The Thresh though being taken from SBU, so they don't want Pleelades on that anymore. You know what? Hold on. I need a message pirated. How do I say Leo's IGN? Pleelades? Pilates? Pleelades? Okay, we're just gonna go with Pleelades. Alright. Thank you for that confirmation, Pirate. And we're gonna start that countdown for the spectate. We'll just jump into a break screen real quick as we're waiting for that to walk down. I don't have too much to commentate on this, as we're kind of looking at similar comps from both sides. Some changes coming in from SBU with the Thresh, so we're going to try to see that performance from that side. Kennen and Jax going to be definitely a hassle in terms of like diving that backline, but if IIT is able to respond, if they're able to kite themselves back with that Leona ult, or the Leona with the initiation, IIT might be able to take this victory. So we'll come back in about 2.5 minutes as we wait for the spectator delay to wear off. But stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting game 3, I hope. Alrighty, as the timer has cut itself back, we are now loading up into the game for Game 3 of Illinois Tech Division 3 versus LCS bound from Stony Brook University in New York. Taking a quick look at the runes, we've got pretty standard stuff coming out from both sides. Ooh, I like that Dark Harvest Master Yi. So Master Yi betting on the trying to be the carry here for IIT, and I did like to see that aggression that he was playing for game 2. So even I was concerned actually on the I was concerned with the all right, I'm getting comments on my mic, so I was concerned with the game 2. I saw the Graves coming in a lot, like taking all of those camps from IIT's side, but Kane able to match himself up pretty evenly, and I'm pretty happy with that. So we're going to start ourselves into loading up here on the Rift. IIT again will be taking the red side. It seems like Stony Brook was the one that had selected blue. So both of these games we've seen the standard 5-man approach, but we are seeing pings for the first time coming out from Stony Brook, but we're seeing the bot Tribush approach. I like it. So looks like they're ready to contest it. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm ready for this. Wait, but J4 gonna be pushing himself right into the bush. He might be walking right in there. He's gonna be spotted by the Thresh. 3 members coming in, but the flash is going to leave him exposed to a Thresh hook, and unfortunately, first blood in favor of Stony Brook University, and looks like that communication was not discussed correctly. So I saw pings coming in for bot Tribush for IIT, but looks like the J4 was not feeling it, I guess, and doesn't even approach the bush to check to see if they're coming in. He just stays on the outskirts. So Stony Brook just calling them on their bets and taking advantage of the J4's on just not focusing on that. But as they're gonna have to push them, as J4 is gonna be summonerless. Excuse me, just one sums. With his flash missing, it's gonna definitely set back him. But he has a decent escape route with his ability set, so as long as he doesn't waste it too early and they communicate it, then they should be okay. I like the skin synergy. I think he and Yi have matching skins. Ping coming out for the Scion, but they're going to be spotted out. Walks right into the Scion Q, taking a little bit of damage right there. First kill, by the way, going over to the Scion. He did not back, it doesn't look like it, but looks like Jax will be finishing up his red buff and his Raptors, Yi with his blue and wolves. So both junglers likely pathing themselves back up here. So we're expecting that level 3 gank here within the 3-minute mark. That's going to be important to see, especially because J4 has no flash. Sivir here and Leona here taking in the bot lane. Level 2 Leona is going to be nasty. Level 2 Thresh also equally nasty. Going to be excited to see both of the level 2s coming out for both top laners, so that's good. Thresh getting another knock. I'm going to be taken really low here. But unfortunately, IIT putting themselves out of place here, it looks like, unfortunately, and trading themselves Ignite for Ignite, but looks like it might have been a hook that the Thresh landed at the level 2 advantage, likely. Yeah, Flash is unfortunate, and that level 2, like I was saying, it's just so crucial to be able to get that first, and unfortunately, IIT just not able to match themselves up with it. Could be, you know, Leo, Fleelade's just not comfortable on that Leona champ as much as the Thresh. So SPU doing a good job here in terms of making sure that they can take that advantage, any kind of possible advantage here. And meanwhile, we have the Jax jumping right into the Swain, unaware, is caught out with no vision, it looks like. Yeah, because all these wars are on Stony Brook's side. So again, we're seeing a little bit of the game shift out early, similar to game 2 though, so we'll see. Meanwhile, Yi going for his gank in the top lane takes out the Scions one, so that'll help out a little bit to know that Scion won't be able to commit that hard for it. Finally, the level 2s start coming out for us, and Sivir just getting hers, and then that's really unfortunate, you know, to not get that level 2 advantage, so she's already going to be put a little bit behind, and that's going to be at least a longsword for Lucian. Would be surprised, but J4 is still really low here. So Scion able to back here, you know, getting his 2 cloth armors is going to be able to soak up a lot of damage. decent amount of harass provided by the swing, kind of zoning him off there with his ability, but looking like Yi is back here for another game, but 2 cloth armors isn't going to cut it. Ooh, gets a nice little Q off there to avoid knockup. However, Leona getting her own, I think she has the defense tower thing that takes, I forgot the name of it. Jack's here though, just here for some emotional support, just in case Design still feeling a little spooked out. But he will be backing as Yi is clearing out his Raptors. So you've got Yi about to hit 4 as he finishes these camps. Jax himself is about the same place, so he will be maybe about 10 seconds ahead. We'll see. But as we look at this 2v2, IIT after that first kill, well, not first kill because the J4 got caught, but the kill that bot lane got, playing definitely a lot more conservatively. About a 650 gold advantage here with the boots and the longsword on the Lucian. So that's going to be having to be something to watch out. Thresh trying to look at his luck with the Flay, but he's not any Prelade, so not going to be able to get that. The Flay, though, this time it's going to be matched right with Leona. Misses the hook, but Jax is here. If IIT commits too hard for this, they might be caught out. And this is, again, an issue of no vision for IIT. Another Flay being caught out for the Leona, but forcing the Leona to flash out, getting the Ignite on her. IIT getting the hook on the Sivir, too, not helping things out. One more auto could do it. Ooh, but the hooks, one more auto could do it. The auto is going to be getting it off on her. Dang, but Leona able to shut down Lucian before he's able to get anything, but actually the shutdown's on Thresh because he's got the 2 kills. The able to get the knockup on it. Oh, one auto could have done it, but Dissipate with no flash is not able to keep up with it, so Kennen able to barely escape with his teeth. Is that the expression? Escape with your teeth? The teeth? Yeah, getting that knockup pushes him back really well, getting that, but that stun just prevents just that one auto that IIT needed, and that's really unlucky. But good stuff on IIT for J Mars to be looking out for that roam. Yi here trying to just provide some harass out here. We gotta get that skin synergy going. I want to see that Yi and J4 just like smash themselves right in there. It's kind of similar, aren't they? Like, what's the theme of the skin? It's like some sort of like dark star galaxy thing. Kind of works with the Leona. She's like moon, star, sun thing, so space themed regardless. Oh, misses. Okay, hold on. We got a 1v1 possibly coming in here with Sign going with his ult, trying to get the knock on the side where he can, but escaping with 30 HP, taken just to the brink. And this is a pretty lazy back. If Sion like lands the E on this, hold on. But okay, he got out. Good. So Yi here will be here to collect up the minions. Meanwhile, Sion here with no ult. Yi not level 6 though, so possibly looking for this commitment. No ult, no mana either. IIT, if Yi had that level 6, he would have had it in the bag, unfortunately. He's still a decent amount to catch back up to, so unfortunately though, that kind of timing is going to space him off a bit. So his blue buff has already spawned. Jax is already aware of this, it looks like, so he's going to be taking a look at it. IIT doesn't seem to be aware of it, but they are aware that Jax is coming down, so Jax actually going for it, but the TP coming in, committing really hard for this. But the Swain here to roam, trying to see what members he can get, but Leona taking really low. This is 4v3 situation here, and IIT not sure about the commitment levels that they're trying to push out. Sivir going to be using her heal to get it, but flashes into the Thresh hook, or she tried to like flash in place to avoid it or something. Unfortunate for IIT, and that's going to be probably likely a first turret or at least 2-3 turret ticks of the turret plating falling down in favor for SBU. So an 8-kill advantage, 7-kill advantage here. 4k gold lead is going to be putting SBU really ahead of the game here, and a lot of misplays being shown from the bot lane, unfortunately. And it looks like that Thresh seems to have been a really prevalent issue in terms of IIT being able to comfort pick themselves into other champions. So a couple more ticks should do it. The last bit of turret plating falling. IIT looking like they're going to be giving up here for this first tower, and they'll have enough to do it. Just barely enough to do it. Maybe. Sivir wanted to do it. They got the damage, just do it. Let's fight. It's really not enough, but taking down so low, maybe SPU maybe makes a misplay here by committing so hard for it. There is no vision on the river. Yi is level 6, it could be. But we'll have to see. Level 6 ult coming in for the JV2, trying to get himself where he can, but playing really just IIT, just not getting taken down with these solo kills consistently is not a good omen in terms of what's going to be happening in the future if they're not going to be able to get their team composition working the way that they need to. But as we're starting to get the champs to their level 6 positions respectively, we've got the Swain 2 levels behind, unfortunately. Cannon with a 2-level advantage. We've got the Sivir still not at level 6 yet. She is the last one out of it. And again, that early kill that happened in the bot lane in that 2v2 is what's contributing to that. So IIT just can't look for these team fights yet, and Thresh with those movement boosts is still going to be denying it. She's not close. She's still got a while to go to it. She's got about half wave minion, and so that's going to be the first turret falling, definitely, within this next wave or so. Yi trying to see if he can continue to just farm up, try to be relevant. It's going to be important to see if they can hold this. If they're able to layer their abilities with this Leona, could happen. Kennen going here for a pretty hard commit, landing all of his abilities, landing all of his items with the Hex Tech Proto Belt, but IIT definitely still wins out on a trade. We're seeing another gank coming in from the Kennen, again poking himself out there, but Yi with his ult just rushing in there. Kennen's ready for it. He's still healthy. Ping's coming out from IIT. They know that he's inside there. He's gonna get spotted out. Has flash. Dodges the hook nicely. Gets the flay, unfortunately, for IIT, but he's just going to be able to walk out just barely. But he's getting caught right in between with the Jackson. No Leona ult, not going to be able to connect it, unfortunately. IIT caught again. 5 of their members inside the mid lane, getting the Thresh going all the way in there, but his ult's going to hold himself off there. One more tick could have done it, but JV2 still alive here, so really unfortunate here from IIT. They're not able to play at the level that we've been expecting, and I don't know if it's in their champion pool per se, or just not feeling comfortable on those comfort picks like that Kanan, like that Thresh. So SBU just playing it to their advantage. Leona going for a hard commitment here, but with no mana, trying to see whatever they can do. But unfortunately, at this point, it's almost like pushing themselves just right in for the int. Unfortunately. Swain going to try to see what he can do here, but the hook does not connect for the Thresh. A couple more turret plays here to fall. Jack's going to be looking at getting his turret for the second turret after Sion's going to be big. And again, that Sion definitely is going to be so tanky that the Sivir is going to have a really hard time already being at 0-3, and SPU is already transitioning themselves over for the Herald. So again, more advantages, already at an almost 10k gold lead at 12 minutes. It's going to be tough for IIT to see if they can come back from this. And a lot of this is going to be contributed to like just their ability to like look for kills, play correctly in the sense of like their vision control. But trying to see what they can do here, just trying to see if they can land any abilities. He's going to be flashing himself right out there. Going to just try to get himself where he can, but Swain trying to hold himself back. Going to be looking for a pretty hard commitment on the side. He had the flash available. Ooh, JV2 unable to flash the way that he wants to. He's going to look for it anyway. Try to get anything that they can get, but IIT is just committing so hard for these and not getting the kills that they need. SBU just playing to their strengths, unfortunately. Going for another lunge here, but IIT, that's going to be a Leona, a dead Leona here. Even with the heal. Just barely does it, actually. IIT just still going in for just every single ability, unfortunately, and that kind of staggering is going to lead to like is leading to what this gold lead that you see here with a 13-1 advantage is going to be almost set in stone for SBU's victory here, unless IIT is able to do something with their team fighting 5v5. But it looks like SBU is just not really giving them any opportunity to tactically just moving out, not overstaying their welcome like what they were doing in game 2. Um, so yeah, you've got a lot of shutdown gold on all of these members. If you're looking here in the bottom here, for those that are new, League implemented a new system where like if you have certain champs that are like really ahead of the game, whether in terms of kills, whether in terms of CS, they have this essentially like this gold bounty on their head. So if you kill them, you get the gold bounty that's placed on them. So here with the most 750 for this Jax jungle, he going right into the air for the Lucian, just queuing himself right into the team, but getting the stun onto the Thresh is going to push him forward to miss it, but not going to be enough, unfortunately. And there's just still not the damage they need, and the Swain is still too low. No boots on the Swain is going to let him, it's going to contribute to that, of not being able to move out quickly enough. And unfortunately, IIT still not being able to net the kill is going to let SBU be able to grab their first tier 1 turret, their last tier 1 turret, excuse me, of the game. Putting down that Rift turret will definitely assure its capture as well, and they might be looking at that tier 2. In addition, that damage is non-existent for the Sivir right now, unfortunately. Another tick for the Rift turret going to be coming in to be taking it down to half health. 4 members of IIT converged here. Leona? Okay, no, that was for W. But Sion going to be initiating. Captures out the Yi already. Kennen and Sion already able to hold out 2-3 members of IIT at bay. And this is really not looking really good for IIT. Thresh landing another hook on it. Trying to hold out where she can, but that damage is too much for IIT to handle. And getting the knock up on the Sivir, going to be another hook on the Thresh is just going to wipe out IIT again. And IIT, unfortunately, this might be the point of no return that we're looking at. So with already a plus 10k gold lead at the 15-minute mark, it's not much that we can do but sit back and let SPU take the driving wheel on this. And again, I think a lot of it just leads to IIT just not being comfortable with those matchups on those new champs. This J4, I think I saw some of those games on him, so I guess maybe the matchup against Sign he just was unconfident with. But again, a lot of that vision control that we needed to see early on when they were going for that 5-man approach, and likely just a team communication error that's leading to it. But unfortunately, these kind of things are going to be happening at this kind of level of play, so we just want to continue letting these players just continue to develop by practicing games with these kind of matchups. And IIT's got really far, so in this Collegiate Star League, able to set them up with some really good matches this season, so they can still walk away saying that they had a good season. But as we're looking in, IIT still trying to be committing to see whatever they can get with a 5v2 approach here, forcing the flash out. It's going to get the E in, but Leono just pushing himself. Just one kill is what they need. Charmy going in right next to here, but again, IIT just, I like their ability to just try to look for anything possible at this point, because like anything is worth it. But unfortunately, another ace coming out for them, and Thresh still able to. They commit so many resources and abilities, but Thresh with his summoners is able to just safely net himself behind the turret. And we're looking at the 4-man push here for the first inhib turret of the game at 17 minutes. That tower seizure for Sion coming in to help it out, but first inhib here going to be falling for oh nope, they've decided not go commit for it. All right, again, just still keeping that level of respect for IIT, just not letting IIT just capitalize off any stupid mistakes. So SPU just going to be playing to their numbers advantage all the time. So even with that 2v5, you saw like they just didn't even want to look for the fight. Thresh just gets himself right out, and then once they're 5, they're just ready to fight again. So but IIT in the meantime, in the meanwhile, a lot of those kills that we saw that are contributing to these huge leads on SPU is because of the IIT just committing so hard for just that one kill that they're willing to like sacrifice multiple members for. It is not the mentality that we need to be able to win these kind of matches. That's solo queue mentality. So we got to ask ourselves, what are we going to be looking up for in terms of objectives? Well, we've got Dragon spawning in about a minute, Baron as well in about a minute and a half. So IIT trying to put vision where they have after SBU took off a bunch of their resources here in the red. They've got something here, but nothing past the river, unfortunately. Kennen using his ult already to, I guess, try to get out of a sticky situation, but that's fine. He's already got 4 members that have a ton of items to back him up. So IIT here limited in terms of vision. They don't know what's going on inside past this blue buff, and Sivir is the one that's going to be having to pay for that mistake. She's walking herself right out there, does get captured, and she's just going to be wasting her time. Bye. The Zoe sad emo coming in. She knows she's gone for. Unfortunately, they're committing here for the Jax, but Jax is going to be able to reflect that damage with his E. Nice hook coming in from the Thresh is going to be able to get the J4. But again, IIT just trying to see what they can do. Using the Q to dodge, but walks right out into the flay. No, that side just soaking up 3, 4, 5 tower shots on top of it. It's going to make SBU just continue to take whatever objectives that they want. One inhib falling down in the bot. Kennen's trying to complete his in the mid, so that'll likely be a transition for 2 inhibs at this point at 19 minutes. Approaching the 20-minute mark, is SBU going to commit for the finish? It looks like they're, again, not giving any chances for IIT to come back, just to even despite this lead. So dragging the game out, just taking every objective systematically, is not going to leave IIT with any room to just make a comeback, unfortunately. So drained of resources, nothing here in the blue side already. You can see just this one red buff that they're just going to try to put on Yi to keep up. Sivir doing what she can for the wave clear, but could likely see, hopefully we don't see another deja vu where she's pushed up too far past the point where they just come in with a no vision jungle, but pings are coming out from IIT. They got vision onto Baron, but that's not going to stay there for very long with 3 control wards on SBU's side. Yellow trying to see what she can do. Back with equipping with some more wards, but we've already got 2 super minion waves falling in here. She's trying to soak up what she can. Sivir still trying to fall back. They're going to have to fall back into base, and as they do that, as all 5 members of IIT converge back to base, SBU's already pinging for the Baron. They're ready for it. No members of IIT are going to stay behind for this, and at this point, you're already, with Jax being a 2-level smite advantage, little to no chance, unfortunately. So IIT just going to have to barricade the defenses, see what they can do in this next, probably this last few fights as we're seeing it. Swain walking himself pretty close to there, and again, not too much vision, but they're going to be trying to see if they can commit for this Kennen. Kennen with now Flash is going to be using the Zonias to keep himself alive. Swain tanky, but not forever, unfortunately. Walking themselves right into the Sign. Sign essentially in a 1v4 position. Yi already having to use his ult, so as you're going to be sieging for this 3rd inhib, Yi is not going to have his ult available, unfortunately. Another hook from the Thresh landing on the Leonardo. Forcing the flash out. It's going to stop the Lucian in its tracks, but Sivir just not enough damage. It's already taking so much from the cannon, from the super minion as well. It's already doing its work and getting the flash, getting the hook as well and flashing right on top. And this is going to be likely going to be taking us to the end of the game here for IIT as they finish off the collegiate season in the quarterfinals here as SBU takes the victory here. 30-1, 31-1. At 22 minutes, Stony Brook here with the victory at 2-1. And really resounding victory here, and likely from those things that I listed before, it's just IIT just not comfortable with those champions that outside of that familiarity with the Kayn and Thresh. We saw that being used games 1 and 2, and finally when it clicked for them game 2, SBU put a stop to it. So even with those mid bans, the consistent mid bans, the Darius ban, and then adapting those bans to allow for the to not let that Kayn and Thresh go through seems to have been the solution for Stony Brook University here today. Alrighty. So let me change that score real quick. Oops, not 12. 2. So that'll be Stony Brook moving on to the semifinals, I believe. I don't know who the matchup is. I believe all of those matches are being played today. But if they have a Twitch or Twitter, definitely keep up with them to see if you want to watch their games. As the CSL JV2 split is for the this winter bracket tournament is wrapping itself up. Um, this will end the Division 3 teams season for the winter bracket. But I believe in about a month or so, the spring invitationals, the spring brackets will be opened up. So the Division 3 team will be looking to come back into the game. In the meantime, we have our Division 1 team participating in the Collegiate League of Legends. They are currently 1-0 in the Swiss format tournament, so they will be playing Bellevue University tomorrow due to a reschedule. Um, so we're not sure if we're going to be able to get a cast for that. I believe that conflicts with Overwatch, which I know I'm casting for. So we'll try to see if we can get a stream set up, and be sure to put that on. And we'll be sure to put that on our respective socials. Um, but besides that, yeah, just really solid playing in terms of SBU to adapt to their comp. IIT, still a lot of things to work on. I like to see that. I liked the improvement that they showed in Game 2 with that synergy, able to spot out how to all take those fights correctly. But unfortunately, the staggering that we saw in this game, and a lot of the 1v1s that were not in their favor, yet IIT still committing for it, and that, trying to build up that patience are going to be skills that are going to be important as they try to continue playing League here in the collegiate scenario to be able to match up with these higher level teams. Alrighty, sounds good. So I'm gonna be closing up the stream here. Um, Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to follow Illinois Tech Esports on our Twitch here at twitch.tv/Illinois Tech Esports, Twitter at IIT Esports. We have a Discord. All of that link is put into all of that social media. Be sure to give us that follow. Appreciate everyone's time for watching. This is Elvin Moy, Epoxy, signing out.